magnetically bringing in what it is that you want, and you can feel your own power and connection.
Yeah, actually, we just did an event the other night on abundance and money and energy around money, because energy, I mean, money is just energy. And so, we look at it as this evil thing, or people say it's the root of all evil, but I look at it as love, right? It's how we actually like connect with people, first of all, and also how we, yeah, exactly. It's how we connect with people. It's how we show our energy. So if it blocks, like Nicole was saying, if it blocks, then it actually shows us as being in a place of lack with it, right? So it's like if we don't have money, all it really means is that there's something deeper that's stopping that flow. So being able to be in the correction of the root brings that abundance out of us. And abundance can mean a lot of things for people. Sometimes it's, actual money. Sometimes it's relationships. It can block in all sorts of different ways. Yeah, actually for me, being an addict, I just did not have peace of mind. I was very erratic in my emotions. My relationships were, I was isolated. My relationships were, I just didn't trust anyone. I'm not really sure if anyone totally trusted me. So as I started to align myself with myself, there was peace. My actual emotions started to change. I became not erratic. I became in full control. When I started, recovery, right? I won't even say I'm in recovery because I'm already recovered, right? We're constantly in a state of perfection, right? When we don't believe that we are in a state of perfection, we are not. When we believe that we're in a state of perfection, we are. We're always there. So what does that mean? So yes, my mind, I can have peace of mind. I can have an influx of money. We had this event the other night, and we had someone literally just like, she, just poured her heart out, and I won't say the amount of money that just came in the mail 3 days later, just abundance fell out of the sky out of nowhere to help her in her, like what she's doing right now for her purpose and mission, which is to help so many people. And I was actually in shock at the number. And I was just like, wow, because we called it in. We expected it. We moved all of the stuff. Like when Dov and I go in and start working with people, all of a sudden we start seeing the self-worth issues, the fear of abandonment, the inner child wounds, like when you're young and like you've been abused, or your bonding wounds from not, being neglected, or maybe people were using in your home drugs, or, maybe people just weren't there. Maybe you moved a lot. Maybe there was a lot of death in your life. These things affect us throughout our life, and when we don't take care of them and really cater to them, it just gets worse and worse, and it shows up in all our relationships, right? We sit there and we're like, well, why can't I find the right person, and why do I keep like flipping out every time I find someone I really love and I just run? Well, because there's things underneath there that need to be dealt with, and we can go in there and look at them and clear them immediately so that you can begin to have this life. I mean, I don't know how many times I hear people run away from the person that they love because they just don't feel good about themselves. And that stuff can be dealt with. Dov and I really go in there, and I always say we show you your blind spots. Even Dov and I have mentors. We have business mentors. We have holistic doctors. We have people that guide us because there's some things sometimes that I can't totally see. And so we always have to support, and you should always have support. We love that. We always say you should always have support. Like find your tribe, find the people that can help you. It's a must. Yeah. It's a must.
I mean, I love what you're saying about mindset, because every time I do a hashtag, I do lots and lots of hashtags on my Instagram, but one of them I always write is positive mindset. And when you've actually got your mind straightened out and you can think straight, and you've got all these other things around you that, can help, it's so important that you get your mind straightened out, because other things become easier to do in your life. And again, what you just said now about surrounding yourself with people that are your tribe, that understand and help you. And, we said the other day about coaches needing coaches. We all need someone to help us in different areas of our life, because we're not perfect in every single area. We need to have people help us in different areas that they're more experienced in or more qualified in, and they can make us see things that we thought we'd got down. Like we think that we've got it down just like this. And then someone who has more experience, who has a different angle, they say, what about this? And then you go, oh, right, yes, you're right. And you need to be able to have that power to say you're right, because a lot of the time we don't want to say they're right. We want to say, nope, it's going to be like this. I said this. So really great that you're saying about, you know, different blind spots that we don't see on ourselves that other people need to come and see and say, okay, this is what you could do. This is how this is happening for you. Now, just going back, Nicole, to lots of the kind of the traumas that happened in your life. I know that you said Dov's family really helped you with that. What advice would you give to somebody that, you know, you were saying a little bit earlier as well about you didn't trust anybody. You didn't really think you could trust them. Would they trust you? You had that whole mindset about that. What sort of advice would you give to anybody listening that thinks they're kind of in the same boat? And I'm asking you this because I know that you've really been there. And what would you advise them to sort of do as their next step? Because, you know, I want to talk about creating a life you love. They might be sitting here right now going, wow, what is there to live for? What do I want to do? All I've got is my addiction. All I've got is the people that are around my addiction that are not necessarily the good people that they need. What would you say to someone who's listening that kind of needs to be pulled out of that?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I'm going to start with this actually, and then I'm going to go into that. So I always tell people, don't ever feel bad for anyone. Don't ever feel bad for anyone, even to the extreme of you go outside and you see someone homeless and they are on the floor. I say don't feel bad for them because they made choices to get themselves there. And we make them small when we look at them and feel sad because we take away the fact that I don't know why people like that want to experience those things, right? We're always here to evolve. If you look at the earth and you look at people and you look even in science, every living thing is here to evolve, including us. And so what I say is putting people in your life that are not going to judge you and that are going to see you as the gorgeous being that you are. Your drug addiction or those type of things do not define you. It is something, like for me, for instance, I used to survive. I did not know how to deal with what was going on in my life. I did not know how to deal with the trauma. I used to survive, and it was my way at the time to survive until it started to turn on me, and it started to destroy me. And so Dov and her family really saw me as this beautiful being. I love it. Dov's mom is very psychic, but she always says, look at her as a God. Would you judge God? She's a little co-creator God. She's doing it. She's going to be okay. And it's like if we look at people in that light and see them just as this perfect being, we leave space for them to be that. Mm-hmm. The energy actually gets absorbed, right? So if Nicole feels horrible about herself and my family is really fearful and they're like, oh my God, she's a junkie, what happens is I will take that on and it only causes more energetic heaviness. But when we get love and we do unconditional love and we're receiving that, it leaves space for me to go, wait a second. So I was 20 bag a day heroin addict. And I told my wife I wasn't fully ready to get clean, but that I wanted to soon. And I know I would be ready. And I said, I just need you to be here. And she's like, I'm not going to judge you. I'm going to love you. And just don't spend all our money. That was the stipulation. Don't die on me. Don't spend all the money. And we prayed and we worked hard. And you know what? I kept going. I cooked us dinner. I was alive. I was with her even while I was messed up. And one day I woke up and I said, it's over. I'm done because I was done. I just wanted something different. I wanted more. I knew I deserved more. I felt like I deserved more. I actually felt what it felt like to not be in that place. I started to imagine wait, I can get out of this. And so I got clean. And again, it was just being around people that understand you, right? Sometimes we have to cut people off for moments. It doesn't have to be forever. But sometimes when people are harming us or don't see us in that light, sometimes we have to set boundaries to allow for ourselves to just get through the next moment. You know, there were times where I think my family had to cut me off, and I had to cut my family off. And it was for moments, and then we were back in each other's lives. And to just allow yourself to do that, you know, to get where you need to be because you deserve it. You deserve that time for you. You deserve to give all the time for you. I always say, you have to come first. You have to put the oxygen mask on yourself first. There's a reason you have to do that first because without that, there's nothing.
Yeah, and Nicole made a couple of good points that I really want to expand on. It's we always give this example of not feeling bad for people, and it's not because when we say choices, it's not necessarily the choices you see in this lifetime. It's There are choices. Our struggles, again, are gifts. They're our evolution. And when we say that, when we say not to feel bad for people, it's because they are powerful, like Nicole was saying. We are all equal. We do not see anyone as being less, greater, or anything in between. We are all absolutely energetically equal, and we have different experiences. And so, that's just to clarify that, because it's a very important thing for people to understand. Sometimes people hear that and they say, oh, what the heck does that mean? How can you not feel bad? Or how can you say, oh, they chose it? And we don't mean it in the sort of normal, common way people say it, like, oh, too bad for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they are powerful. They are
that.
powerful, right? We respect that power. And the thing Nicole was getting at too that's so important is non-judgment. And, non-judgment of self. And you were saying, Sarah, like, you sit around and you're like, oh, I'm not worth it. So many people, whether they have outward problems or it's your inward state or being, you're like, I'm not worth it. I'm good for nothing. I'm not, fast enough, smart enough, skinny enough, whatever our insult is to self. And it has to do with like this internal work. And we did a lot of that internal work. And what happens when you start doing that internal work, and when Nicole was saying, find people that support you, that's why we do the work we do, right? Find people you can resonate with, contact us, set up a consult with us, talk to us about what we do. Because when you get into that state where that internal stuff starts to heal and get straightened out, everything externally lines up like magnetics. It just lines up. The vibration that you have inside is absolutely going to attract what's going on outside. So if you feel like crap on the inside, guess what? That's why life looks like crap on the outside.
So how can people get a hold of you? I know you were saying there earlier about getting in touch with you for coaching and just to talk to you. What would be your preferred method of people that are listening tonight, how they can get a hold of you? I will post things on our link afterwards and everything as well with that. But how would you best prefer people to get in touch with you?
Well, Nicole and I recently started offering free 20-minute consultations because we find that it's extremely important for people to be able to connect to us. We can explain what we do, make sure this is not like you go online and pick a couple things. It's like we know our work really well, so we want to feel what's going on with you, and we want to share what we feel is going to be the perfect way of supporting you in your process, and to be able to have that connection and make sure we're both a good fit. So the best way really to get in touch with us is either to email us at info@twinflamerevolution.com, but even better, go on the website directly, twinflamerevolution.com, and book a 20-minute consult with us. It's free. It's 20 minutes of your time, and you know what? Then you get to hear, okay, this is my issue. We can talk about it, and this is exactly what we think would be the best message for you to actually resolve this. And I will say it over and over again. If you feel like you've tried everything, you have not. You have not worked with us. You have not tried everything. I mean, so we're very humble, and we're very, very grateful to do the work that we do. We know there's a lot of gifted people out there. When we say that we see breakthroughs with our work, we see them, and they are on the scale that, sometimes people say it's like literally akin to magic happening, because it's like, how do you go from a pattern you've been living out for 30, 40, 50 years, and within a matter of hours you're moving decades and sometimes lifetimes of trauma. I mean, it's really an incredible thing to watch, experience, and share, really.
Yeah. I think it's great. Now, I'm going to invite anybody to call in and ask you questions while we're still on the air. If you'd like to call into the show, the number is, 646-716-7979. So I'll give you that one again. It's 646-716-7979. So you can ask Dov and Nicole questions, or you can ask me any questions there. It's up to you. But I just want to let you know that this, anytime I have guests on the show, you can call in while we're doing it live. This is a live show, so we like to invite people to come in and have some questions while the guests are there. And, of course, you can connect with them afterwards anyway. I have a couple more questions while we're just waiting for any callers here. For both of you, I've met you and you look extremely fit. And for me, I believe that a fitness regime and a fitness level and eating well and everything really helps create that positive mindset and that healthy, conscious mind that you have. Do you want to share with me, especially if you said that you were doing professional sports back, before your addiction, Nicole, that you were doing the soccer there. I follow you on Facebook, so I see you two always going off to do a hike somewhere or run somewhere or something. energetic. How would you describe your own fitness regime? It looks to me like you're both extremely fit, doing things. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing fitness-wise to keep that positive mindset and that energy up.
Yeah, so Dov and I both eat very healthy, a lot of plant-based foods because even food has a frequency.